Okay guys, good afternoon. This is the Thursday. That's not the Thursday, it's a lie entirely. It's the Tuesday. This is going to be my midday video, and I hope I don't get cut off for any phone calls. I've got a lot to say. I alluded to some things this morning, maybe last night. I know it got cut off. Anyway, because of where I was at that right moment, I saw something that has just completely gripped me. I've asked Toby to post a couple of links on the Facebook page. I am going to do this video about it, and I'm also going to do a live stream about it. That's how important this thing is. I want to make sure I cover all folks that some don't have Facebook, some do have Facebook. Anyway, I saw something that moved me so deeply yesterday that I immediately tried to take some action and reach out. And my message that I'm trying to spread throughout the country is point the thumb, take accountability. And there's a lot of different interpretations of that. And before I reached out and told you guys what I was doing, I had reached out to this woman, and I wanted to try to speak to her first. And I've been conversing with her, not on the phone, but via media. I don't want to say about her cause, because it's not a cause, but about, I don't even know where to begin. The loss, the suffering, the beauty that she's turning it into. Anyway, I don't know how to get started. So I was watching a rerun of Dr. Phil. You guys know I watch my Dr. Phil. And there was a story about cyberbullying, and these were grown adults acting like children. And then there was another story, and this happened some years ago. But I'm going to urge you, if you're a parent, if you guys don't trust me and spend 10 minutes of your life with your children watching the YouTube video about Amanda Todd, just the way you think it would be spelled, Amanda Todd, you're doing yourself and your family a disservice, a terrific disservice. You're doing mankind a disservice. If you are a human being, you can learn from the video. You'll shed a tear. If you don't, I don't think you're human. But let me try to share with you what I got out of it, my interpretations of it. And please, guys, if there's any evil in any of you that decide you want to troll, this is not the time to do it. All right, a young girl made a couple of mistakes, but that's not the message. So when you go watch the Amanda Todd YouTube video, the story goes something like this. And I might not do it justice, so please just don't take my words for it. Do the research. Take the time to read it. Amanda Todd was a 13-year-old girl, I think in 7th grade, and she was on chat rooms talking with people and friends, and somebody convinced her to, with a webcam, she was making friends, somebody that portrayed himself to be another kid, convinced her to take her top off. And when she did, on the other end, they took a photo of that picture. And this was a predator, and I'll leave that part out of it for now, because there's a whole nother school of thought with that. But this predator later on came back and said, well, unless you put on a show for me, that picture is going to be blasted all over social media in an effort to manipulate and prey on this young lady. Like a lot of young kids, she was getting caught up in people telling her she was pretty and nice and all those things, and she admits that later. And essentially this gentleman goes ahead and posts this throughout her school, and the bullying that took place thereafter, you can't begin to explain. From there, this young lady lost self-esteem. She was ashamed. She started to develop anxiety, pain. She ended up changing schools, moved to a different town, and made another bad decision. She got together with some young boy that was making and taking advantage of a girl that was weak and vulnerable and wanted to be loved. and wanted to feel appreciated and wanted to feel like she was somebody. And then that turned into another situation where she was bullied relentlessly. And at some point in time, this young lady made a YouTube video. It's less than 10 minutes long. And she had these little cue cards explaining how she feels and how she felt. And eventually, to make a long story short, I'm trying to keep my composure, sorry guys. Eventually, she took her own life at 15 years old. I got a little girl that's 12, Grace is 17. I hate social media. I'm on it because the publisher told me I needed to be on it. I don't even know what to say, where to begin. Go look up the YouTube, hopefully Toby links it. Look up the YouTube of Amanda Todd, and then Facebook something that her mom did. Anyway, this young lady killed herself because she made a couple of bad decisions as a young child. And of course, we've got people that want to impale people's emotions and feelings on a stake and roast them. Amanda's not the only young lady. It seems to be like there's a story once a week these days about some young person that ends up getting bullied to the point of these are the only ones we hear about, that they take their own lives. There's three different perspectives that I've got on this here. My mind has escaped me right now. My mind has completely escaped me. I'm sorry guys. I don't even know if I'm so lost right now. Anyway, she killed herself on October 10th, which I came to find out is Mental Health Day, Mental Health Awareness Day. Her mom, Carol, who I've been speaking with and have had the privilege, started a legacy in her honor to call out two things, not just one, but two things with this. One is social bullying, not even social bullying, bullying in general. The other is how to deal with mental health issues, how to identify them, how to reach out to someone that's in pain, that's in need. I can't do the video justice, but she talks about the things she went through, what was in her mind at that moment. As a parent, I couldn't imagine my children going through something like that. I certainly couldn't imagine losing my children to something like that. And her mom has started the Amanda Todd legacy. They have wristbands kind of like what I wear. In fact, I got one over here. I'd like to get and put out on my site for folks. But watch this with your kids, please. I knew when I wanted to do this video, and I'm still considering re-recording it because I got lost with my thoughts. I've been thinking about this since nonstop yesterday, since I saw it. How do we as a society just bully people? How do we, people make bad decisions, how do we tell kids, anybody, you should die, you should do this, you should do that? Wow. Guys, I'm totally lost right now. And I know part of me says re-record this because it's not making any sense whatsoever. But as I've done all along on this journey, I don't know how to be anything but me. So to re-record would kind of be staged. So the best thing I can do is I will share some more thoughts. I'm going to go live stream with it. Maybe my thoughts will come back to me there. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, please. Please, stop whatever you're doing. Go to YouTube and look up Amanda Todd and watch her video. Just watch it. Develop your own opinions. See the tragedy unfold in front of you. See how humans can push somebody else to that point. If my children, I pray that if my children are ever in a situation like that they'll come to me. We need to talk to our kids and let them know to come to us. We need to let our kids know to be careful of online predators. And one of her things she says, you know, you can't take it back, you can't get away from it. I'm just gonna go right now. I don't know what I'm really stammering here, and I'm rarely at a loss for words. Amanda Todd, Carol Todd, my heart goes out to you. My sincere empathy. I couldn't imagine your loss, and yet I find you to be so courageous for taking this situation and trying to turn it into a learning lesson for my children, for my kids, for everybody else out there. And this isn't just a kid issue. There are adults that are cyberbullying. I ran into somebody back in Baxter Springs, Kansas, that was eventually, for all intents and purposes, was get into a cyber debate and name calling and stuff. This is what we've become. Stop, guys. Just stop. I don't know what else to say. Go watch the video, please. Go watch the video. Amanda Todd. And then go to Facebook and look at the Amanda Todd Legacy, where on October 10th, they light up landmarks in purple. Carol was just down at the Santa Monica Pier a couple of weeks ago. I wish I had known about this before that. Maybe my journey would have changed in some way. I don't know. But follow, support, do whatever we can. I want to carry this message forth. I believe that it ties in with pointing the thumb. It's not the same message. I'm not trying to claim it is. I'm not trying to piggyback on this. But taking accountability means stepping up for somebody that's sitting alone in a cafeteria or eating in a lunchroom. You know, and ask yourselves a little bit, how have you been guilty of it? I can recall myself as a high school kid. I was never one kind of creating the names or doing the bullying, but I think there were times, in fact I know there were times where, you know, I joined on with the nicknames or whatever, and it's just wrong, and I'm ashamed now, and all I can hope is that my kids learn differently from my actions. And you know, I don't know how many people got hurt back in the day. You know, take care, guys. I love you all. Kira, Lynn, and Grace, I'm going to watch this with you. You should have it watched 10 times before I get home with Mom. I love you guys. Take care.